Hey there, it's John Terre, and I'm here in front of the Boulder Theater for an exciting nonprofit moment with a number of esteemed guests. And the first one I want to chat with is Cheryl Liguri, who is the CEO of Z2 Entertainment that oversees this wonderful theater. So Cheryl, can you tell us a little bit about the Boulder Theater?
Well, we've been operating this theater. I've been involved since the end of 1998, and we've been really honored to serve our community with every kind of entertainment you could possibly think of, and community events. And we just continue to serve our community in the best way we know how, and the community supports us.
Such an amazing asset. I love shaking it up here and seeing the great entertainment and so many nonprofit events you guys have hosted.
We've done a lot of nonprofit events, and we
Yeah.
continue to do so.
Yeah, well, it's a great contribution to our community, and you run it such a great asset for our community. And I know that the owner, Doug Green, has had a great personal history with this theater. Can you tell us a little bit about your relationship with the Boulder Theater?
Well, my offices have been right across the street since 1988. And then in 1995, when I discovered that it was a couple of weeks away from being gutted and turned into a brew pub, it was unimaginable to me that that could happen in a historic building. And my main mentor at the time, he said, chain yourself to the front doors, do whatever you have to do. This historic building needs to stay. Yeah. And luckily it worked out, and I was able to purchase it with a lot of help by a lot of people. Yeah. And because it's just such a community asset. It's such a visual treasure, but also the history that comes from the walls and what's taking place in Boulder. And then we were lucky enough to find Cheryl Liguri to come in and be the CEO and really provide the touch of someone who really understood the theater business. And it's been just a pleasure working with her, and the community owes her a big thank you. And but it's really been a team effort, and Historic Boulder has been a part of it, and we're very proud and happy to have that association. Yeah. And together we're all just trying to protect the historic part of Boulder and make it available so the whole community can enjoy it as much as possible.
I couldn't agree more. And that leads us to Len Siegel, who's the executive director of Historic Boulder. Len, can you tell us a little bit about your now relationship with the Boulder Theater and interest in preservation?
Absolutely. Thank you, John. Historic Boulder has a conservation easement on this building since it became a landmark. And what that means is that we get a chance to review landmarks throughout the community and help the owners be aware that there's important things that need to be taken care of. This building is one of the best examples of an Art Deco movie palace in the entire state of Colorado. It just screams Deco, and it needs to be told about. The education for the community is really important because it tells the story of Boulder. The spirit of Boulder is wrapped up with buildings like this. And Historic Boulder noticed a few years ago that the facade was having cracks, and we had a couple assessments done with funds from the State Historical Fund to understand the damage, and repairs have been made, but more extensive ones need to be done. And so we're working on that currently, and with the owners and with the managers. And Ruth McKaiser and Tom Thorpe are leading our team for the actual preservation of the building. And I'm going to turn it over to Ruth.
All right. Well, great. Ruth, why don't you tell us about your work?
Sure. So Tom Thorpe and Sue Marie and I applied for a State Historical Fund grant on behalf of the owners and Historic Boulder. And we got, it's over a $500,000 project, and we were able to get a State Historical Fund grant that will pay for 50% of the rehabilitation of this wonderful building. So we, on concert with Doug and Z2 Entertainment, working with Cheryl, we were able to get part of the matching funds, and Historic Boulder is now in the process of raising money for the remainder of the matching funds, and we are very excited to invite the community to participate by coming to a benefit concert on January 26th featuring Face Vocal Band. And for folks who come, their ticket price will go directly toward the rehabilitation of the theater. And we're hoping to sell out the theater that night.
Love
Yes.
it. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for this great work. I will say this, that I'm with just great esteemed leaders in our community, and having them work together in collaboration to preserve this community asset, I can't be more thankful on behalf of the community. So thank you, Len, for your work with Historic Boulder, Cheryl, Z2 Entertainment, Doug Green, who is the owner of this center of entertainment in our community, and Ruth McKaiser, longtime former planning director, former City of Boulder partner. And I'll just say, on behalf of the Boulder Chamber, let's make sure we get out to that concert on January 26th and support this rehabilitation effort. And that's been your Boulder Chamber nonprofit moment.
Thanks, Chamber.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
John. Thank you, John.